Hey gang, in this video we're going to talk about strings in Python. So, strings in Python. So we can consider a string is a list of characters as well. So for example, let me tell David Brian. So I can literally grab every single elements from this string from my for loop for I in name string. So I can grab every elements from this string, and by there I can print I. So this way we can understand a string is the list of characters. So as we can see here, David Bryan, but the fact is print function puts enter line by itself, so I'm not gonna use that. So simple formatted way. So David Bryan. So I can print the string by grabbing every element, just like this is the style of C language. So we can consider this as a list of characters, but list of characters which are immutable. For example, we did before about list that let's say my list is equal to 1 2 3 4, and later on and lists are mutable objects, so that I can later on change the value by equal to 8, and when I print that my list, it gets updated. So in place of 5 it has 8, so it gets updated. But unlike list, uh, strings are immutable objects. So if I try to do here something like name and character 8 position 2, I want to replace that by y, then this way I think this is gonna make error. So just like that, as we can see here, type error str object does not support item assignment. As expected, we cannot assign the characters by indexing in the string. Okay, so let me talk about some very useful functions that comes under the string object. So let's say that's my string, and if I want to print something, like if I want to join something and make that more interactive, then what I can do is name is my string, then there are many methods that come along with the string object. Okay, so I can do something like join and list I'm gonna pass how are you. So let's check that. Okay, as we can see here, I think the name didn't come here. What's the reason? My name is David Bryan. Let's put another string. Hello, programmer. Okay, then this should work, I think. Okay, so how are you, David Bryan? Hello, programmer. So I think you guys are getting the clue how it joins the strings here. And let me put that space as well. So what this join method does is it prints out the first element, and it has a second element, but between that it joins the string inside this variable name. So just like that. Okay, so this one, let's check that again. Okay, so this how are you is the first element, and then it joins the string inside this variable name, and then the second element. So if I continue putting here other elements like how is it going, so again it puts this debit Brian in between and then prints the another element in that list. Okay, so how are you? Again it has put that in between, and again hello programmer, so again debit Brian, and then how is it going. So literally join method joins the string inside its list every time when it's into the changing elements. Okay, so this was all about join, and um, let's talk about something like replace. So um, print name dot it has got another function called replace, and it takes two arguments. The first is the string which we want to replace in that variable. So I think I'm gonna replace the word Brian by let's say David, uh, mm, let's say Justin. Okay, so let's check that again. So as expected here, replace method of a string is replacing this word from the name variable, and it replaces that word by the word Justin. So as expected, but one thing you guys should notice here, doing this way the variable, the string content inside that variable does not change. As you guys can see here, David Bryan, the original content inside this variable name has not been changed, but these functions, what are they doing is they are just um, uh, they are just giving a new value, and that value does not get updated to that variable. So these functions generally are used inside print function because they don't have use otherwise. They are not updating that name variable. So in the same way, this as well here. So in first print statements, how are you, David Brian? Hello programmer David Brian. How is it going? And in second, David Justin. But in last, when I printed the name only, then it retained its value, original value. Original value does not vanishes in this way. Okay. Okay, so far so good, and let's talk about something like checking. So we can literally check our string whether it starts with that character or ends with that character. So Python has got another built-in function. Okay, let's check that. So my string variable name, and I can literally type it starts with, and then I can check my string. So let's check it starts with David, and this starts with function retains a boolean value. So it should print out true or false. Okay, let's check true. So if I wanna check the type of that is return value of start function, and I can see here, so as we guys can see here, class bool, so it returns a boolean value. It returns a boolean value, and so if I put something wrong here without a space, then it should give false value. So false. And just like it starts with, we have another ends with. So ends with David, this should also give false value. And if I check that by writing a Brian, again it should give false because that starts with I space as well. So again space, and it should hopefully give true. Okay, so I can put that into another bool variable as well. Let's say bool var is equal to name dot ends with, and then my string, let's say Brian space, and later on I can print my bool_var as well. Okay, so this way I think this is really useful functions that comes built in with Python strings. So later on I can use that bool variable into my if conditional statement as well. So for example, if bool_var, then I'm gonna print my string ends with insert Brian space, and else my string does not um, my string does not end with Brian space. Okay, so hopefully this should work. So the return value returned by this insert function is fully a boolean variable. So later on we can use that here as for the demonstration. This is working. So my string insert Brian, and if I put something like Brian only, then it gives really interactive answer. My string does not end with Brian. Okay. So these are all about string functions. I think we have some other functions as well. Okay, so write my string in a really funky way. This is my programming skills. Okay, so if I want to print that something like all in lower cases, then just name.lower. There are a lot of built-in functions that comes with a string object in Python. So by writing a .lower method, I can literally print them in small cases. And if I want to print them in uppercase, then just upper. I get the answer. This is my programming skills. And there is a really powerful programming functions with this upper method that comes with a string object. Okay, let's check that again. Let me show you a program that shows how powerful Python program is. Let's say answer is equal to input. Do you agree? Do you agree? And then I'm gonna check my answer. If answer in the list yes or yep or y, then print you are agreed. And then else print not I did not understand. Okay, so let's check that. System cannot find the path specified. Okay, so Python string.py. Do you agree if I type Y, then it said Y, but in case if I type capital YES, then I think I didn't understand. So to make that work, what we can do is answer dot lower function, and then it becomes so powerful. Even I can type in a really funky way like Y capital ES, then it's gonna work. You agreed. Even if I type capital YUBE this way, again it's gonna work. You agreed. So there are a lot of built-in functions, modules in Python, and that's what makes Python really powerful language in front of other programming languages. Thank you.